Welcome back, YouTube. So here is your free, your $2, your $4, your $5, even your $1, or maybe even your $45 CEL fix. You ready? Close that back door, son. Close the back door.
Huh?
Close the back door. So this is the O2 bung, which can technically become a O2 spacer. And what that will do is, let me demonstrate for you. I don't think I have a bad O2 sensor. Do we have a bad O2 sensor? Let's check over here in the, I'm in trouble spot. Stay with me. Let's go up front and get an O2 sensor since we do so many here. Dude's still working on that LS intake manifold. He's got one side fitted. Alright, so we'll just grab this. Because most O2 sensors and air fuel sensors all work the same way. So we're going to just primarily talk about downstream oxygen sensors. So here's a new oxygen sensor. What it's for, Nissan something. So this is in the exhaust stream, right? So this threads into your exhaust port. That will thread onto there. So if you already have an existing port and oxygen sensor that comes out, you could technically weld this on top of your existing O2 bung, which we have done in the past if the threads are bad, and then thread this in. And what that will do is space the O2 sensor out of the exhaust flow just a little bit. How much is it changing? Well, it all depends on how bad your engine's running, how much catalytic converter is left, if there's any. So this will change the waveform of the oxygen sensor. Option one, probably your least expensive. Option two is go to the parts store and buy a non-fouler. These non-foulers don't fit every oxygen sensor. So what happens is when you put this in and thread it all the way down, the sample sometimes are machined off in here where they're flat and then seal against there and cause more headaches for you. So that's where I said in the past, you actually have to know the science of what you're trying to do in the product that you're using. So this won't work. And then you'll see the next one. What happens is you can weld an O2 spacer to your 14 millimeter non-fouler and then set up an air gap inside to keep that away. Some vehicles are so sensitive, you're not getting away with any of this shit. I don't care what you're doing, especially a Chrysler. And anything that's an ultra low emissions vehicle, they have that so dialed down that they know if there's an exhaust leak, if the oxygen sensor's too far out of the exhaust stream. The programming in them things are very, 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 very well done. So we had one, almost free. Two, with some cost, more of a cost. Then you get into your more fancier ones. So we'll start with the ones that have a screen in it. And you see how long it is, so that accepts many O2 sensors because they're all different. This is just taking this sensor and putting it further out of the exhaust stream and allowing exhaust gases to go in there. But it depends on how well your engine's running and how much catalytic is there again for you to try and trick or cheat the system. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And these probably least expensive, cost, more cost. So then you're going to get into stuff that I've taken off of people's cars. So you can see in tight spaces, they make them for 90 degrees. I took this off because it didn't work on actually it did work. This is on a Toyota Corolla, a Toyota Camry, 4-cylinder. The converter was clogged and we had an O2 sensor code. So I said, well, since we're doing the converter, we're going to do it right. Took this shit off, tuned it up. Seems to be okay, but I kept it just, excuse me, to have some parts laying around for videos like this. So next is you have another one that actually has catalyst inside of it. So here's a brand new one. Let's see if I can get it apart. So this is called a mini CEL converter because it actually has catalyst inside here. So you could take that out and clean it or replace it. Problem is, if you're burning oil and it's in your sooty exhaust, this clogs that up and it causes more problems. But if you just have a converter that's naturally decayed over time, these are probably your best option, but keep in mind, you're not fixing the root cause. And these aren't cheap. I don't even think they make them in the US anymore. You have to get them from overseas. So this is almost no different than what you see here, just in a fancier machine design, allowing to accept deeper spark plug, deeper holes, also with catalyst in there, which actually will react to the air-fuel ratios that are going through. But remember, catalyst is only reacting to what's going through the exhaust. So that's 5. Then you have stubborn angles. Okay, stubborn angles with catalyst. So just with catalyst and with screen. Oh no, with catalyst. So this came out of a boosted car that we actually put back to stock. So this had catalyst and then more catalyst. But boosted vehicles with 11.8 air-fuel ratios, no catalyst can hold up. The mixture's so rich. And then you have another 90 here, right? This was out of another boosted vehicle with a test pipe or a down pipe with non-catalyst. We actually wound up putting that car back to stock. But you can see how it just takes it from the exhaust stream and gives you more accessibility to get your O2 sensor and not air fuel sensor, O2 sensor. And I just wanted to show you, these are some of the things that are out there for your free CEL fix or your low-cost CEL fix, and then your high-cost CEL fix, or even higher cost is fix it right. Replace the converter, tune it up, fix your injectors, rebuild your engine, whatever the case may be. But I just wanted to take you through the many options that you have out there for emissions tampering, which we're going to call that here. But it's a gray area because this is actually a mini converter. So I'm not sure what the legal parts of this really are. These are not emissions legal because they're not catalysts. So you're tampering with the emissions package when you're doing this. I don't know if you really are or you are not because they label this as a mini converter.
I don't know. I would definitely that one's kind of a gray area, but I would definitely check local laws just to be safe.
So, and then mini converter, not mini converter, mini converter. Let's take this one apart. You can see how black it is in there. This was off that Toyota Camry. It was running real rich, had a misfire with a clog cap. But yeah, I don't know what the language is written.
You would need to see the language.
You definitely need to see the language. So tampering's tampering. And there may be a gray area if you get your tit in the ringer to say, hey, well, this is technically a mini catalytic converter, and it really is. But then it changes the emissions package technically because it's not what the manufacturer designed. Woohoo! Thanks for watching.